Hello, my name's Neil and today we're off to Wales. It's Friday and it's 12:30 and we're hoping to get to Wales in about 2.5 hours time to get on a campsite in Dolgellau. That's where I'll be meeting my brother later on today, and in the morning we're planning on driving the vehicles to Barmouth, leaving it at another campsite, coming back to Dolgellau and leaving the vehicle there and setting off on the Mawddach trail, or the Mawddach trail. It's an old railway, it's a disused railway, and a lot of cyclists use it and walkers use it. It takes you all the way to Barmouth along the estuary. It's meant to be a beautiful walk, and we're going to hike it, and it's practice for along a hike that we're planning on doing this. So it's our training, if you would, carrying the kit that we would do for a multi-day trip. So yep, that's it, we're ready to go. Van's all packed for a campsite camp, but with kit for a hike, and I'll see you when I get there then.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
So we're here, and it's a nice enough place. It's alright, and it looks like we've got it all to ourselves as well, so if that stays, well, I mean, there's plenty of space for if anyone else comes, to be honest with you. And I'm sure we'll get on with anyone if they did. But yeah, it would be nice for me and my brother to have this all to ourselves tonight, because the trees are great, and I'm gonna set up my fire pit there. So right, let's get camp set up for my brother Darren. He's gonna set his tent up. I'm meant to be tent camping as well tonight, but I keep my van clean for work, and when I'm going to festivals and stuff, I've been sleeping in it from time to time, and just turn up, kip in the back, and then off I pop. So Darren's in the tent, I'm in the van. This is the plan. Okay. So yeah, that's the crack now. Get the van unloaded, and that basically being my chair and some timber, and I'll sort of split in some timber, I think, to get the fire going. And I think I'm going to cook some sausages. I'm going to enjoy these. Oh, look at them. Whilst I was cooking my sausages and waiting for Darren to arrive, I thought it was time to have a sit down and enjoy one of the nice looking beers I bought from the farm shop on the way in. But the already drizzly weather looked like it was getting worse, so I thought it best to quickly knock up a shelter. That little rest in that beer has just turned into me having to jump up and do a few bits and bobs. Oh, here we go. Oh, what did I do? I mean, sausages were burnt in the end. I had to split them open to speed up the cook and everything, and they were burnt in the end, but I've had to knock this together. Boom! There you go. So all my bungees completely tanked together now. So that'll be a job for Monday morning. But there you go. Pretty bonny. Shelter up, rain stopped, just in time for Darren's arrival. Here's Daddy B. See you. Finally got here. And this is Darren's setup, the Phoenix 2 by OEX. It's a good bit of kit this, I like it. After getting Darren set up, we sat down by the fire. The rain did keep coming, so the shelter was worth the effort in the end. We enjoyed a few beers together and stayed up a bit later than planned, but I've always thought a good catch up is always worth losing sleep over. Now to bed to rest for the Mawddach Trail adventure. Good morning. So, me and Darren had a good chin wag last night. We had a good catch up. We had some beers. It was lovely. And now it's time to get ready for the day. So packing away the tarp from last night and clearing the campfire, and then we'll get a bit of breakfast in as just a quick bite. I've got a brew on the go at the moment. Oh, it's ready to go now. I have to take that off. I'm trying a new mocha pot out. It's really tasty coffee, but if you don't get there in time, it starts to boil and it ruins the flavour of the coffee. Anyway. Ooh, go on then. Breakfast of champions. Very nice. I think I caught that brew just in time. It's definitely the best way of cooking coffee outdoors, I think, that. It's such a very rich and intense flavour. If you like strong coffee, I don't recommend it, but if you like strong coffee like me, then definitely that's the one I'm going to stick with now. The only downside is the pot weighs quite a bit. It's not a light thing, and I've had to. You can buy these things that are more collapsible with the handles for about like 70 or 80 quid. I think GSI do one. Is that right? Might be wrong. Or you can do what I did and buy one off Amazon for like 25 quid and make your own handle. But that is a good brew. So that's us all packed up. That's where Darren was. Gear's all back in the van. Tarps all the way. We're all tidied up. Darren's packing his kit. This is my brother Darren, aka Dazzy B.
Hello.
And this is my companion for this trip. And hopefully we're going to be doing this again on the longer hike. Next stop now, other campsite. We're running late. We're meant to set off like 40 minutes ago. So this happens, doesn't it? So yeah, let's get a wriggle on.
It's only about a 25 to 30 minute drive from Breathtaking Farm to Hendry Minat Camping Park, and it's a nice drive, especially if you choose to cross the Penman Pool toll bridge. So we parked up the van, jumped in Dazzy B's motor, back to Breathtaking Farm, where we arranged to leave the Mini, and then we're off on foot in Dolgellau. After a quick look at Dazzy B's phone at the journey ahead, we navigated the narrow streets linking together the various town squares, resisted a potential pint, enjoyed a couple of bridges, and then we soon arrived at Marion Mar car park.
So we're just passing Dolgellau car park now. So yeah, you can totally park up here. You could just pay and park up, and if you're cycling, you could set off from there, and obviously they can do it like what we're doing, we're using campsites. But yeah, a lot of the YouTubes I watch, the people cycling it, and they use this as a point in which you could park up to start the trail, and we're actually on the trail now, so it's a perfect start.
The start of the trail is probably the most urban, with a narrow footbridge and steep elements to negotiate. It's best to keep this in mind depending on your means of transport and considered starting point. It's not long until the path opens up again and is more consistently flat, and at this time of year, lovely and green. Owned by Snowdonians National Park, the route is nearly completely traffic free, with only a few sections that have to cross over roads. However, it always remains clearly signposted.
It's turned out a really lovely day today as well, and the arc of the trees over the path is giving us a nice bit of break from the sunshine. It's nice to be in the sun, but it's nice to be out of it at times as well. So it couldn't be better really. So even if it's raining, I suppose you'll get a bit of shelter. So it's a good proportion of this, I think, just like this. So this looks very railway-like as well. The line was opened in 1865. In the 1960s, there was such a thing called the Beeching Report, and they basically just pulled up loads of railways and got shut of them, the ones that they weren't using so much. And I believe this was one of them. So it was 1965 it was actually closed, this railway. We're just going to have a little sit down on this bench. There's plenty of benches and seats along the way, so we're just going to rest. So it's nice to know that you've got something to sit on. What a lovely view as well. Upside down.
The car park at Penman Pool is a former location of the station of the Dolgellau branch. There are public toilets here that I don't believe to be ex-railway. However, the former signal box still stands and has been used by the RSPB Information Centre as an observation post for the local nature reserve. The old track bed is now used as a footpath through the site, passing the Penman Pool toll bridge and leading to the former station master's house. The old ticket office and station waiting room, that historically dating back to 1650, was a pub and boat builder's workshop. It has now been converted into an annex for the George III Hotel. This is a really nice place and a fantastic stop-off point for food and refreshments, and on a day like this it offers exceptional views of the estuary and historic toll bridge. The trail winds for 9.5 miles or 15 kilometres along the disused rail track of the south edge of the Mawddach estuary, and it ends by crossing the iconic railway bridge over the mouth of the estuary into Barmouth.
We're now at the Mawddach estuary. You can smell the salt air now. We set off at about 20 to 11 from the campsite. Then it was about 1 o'clock. Is that right? When we sat down there at the Georgia 3rd? About 1 o'clock. So, and we weren't marching or anything. So at a steady pace, stopping off and taking a few photos and what have you. You can arrive at dinner time-ish, midday, from setting off at 20 to 11 from the campsite we're at. We're hoping we're actually going to arrive in Barmouth at about 5 o'clock as well, tea time. So we might actually be able to get another pint and a sit-down meal maybe. I've brought stuff with me as well to like camp on route. We didn't know what we were doing, whether something we would land just at the right spot. But that's a good example of duration of walking and what you can, the places you'll arrive at. There's nothing now from George III, by the way, to the Barmouth. So yeah, setting off at 20 to 11 is not a bad set-off time. You know, we were running late as well. We were running late. We thought we were going to be up against it, but no, it's working out great so far. So yeah, we'll keep you in the loop. I just talked to people and it's a fair comment. It's a great path for cyclists. We actually saw a gentleman in a wheelchair as well, and he had some hand-powered mechanics to it. It's that flat, you could use it in vehicles such as that. But there's a lot of traffic. A lot of them are ringing the bell. So you know what's coming, but you have to be mindful of that as a walker. You do. It's predominantly, I'd say, a cyclist path. That's it, I think, especially on a nice day. So just need to be listening out for that bell, and most do give you a little dingle.
Although our journey has started in Dolgellau, the trail can be joined at several points. With the path being often generous in width and mostly flat, it is ideal for cyclists, walkers and wheelchair users. Although I would advise researching the National Park suggestions with regards to the best starting point for your method of transport.
Brother were just talking. We used to bring the boys here, son of my son and my nephew from time to time. There's a lot of nostalgia here. I'd say you don't know how precious a moment is until it becomes a memory. And as we drove through the town before Barmouth, we felt quite nostalgic. We made a lot of memories here with the kids in Bala and Barmouth. So we're looking forward to kind of walking in there. It's a lovely place, and maybe one day our kids will take their kids there and tell the stories of our fun there. So we're very lucky to have such a lovely day to kind of reminisce, so we're very blessed today. Dazzy B's fired up the OEX. Right, we're off. We reckon there's about 2 hours left of the hike back to the campsite. So over yonder there is that bridge that we're going to get to that. We reckon this is our ex-railway here, and Darren just said it looks like these are for climbing up. So these would be a foot peg all the way to the top. We'll probably do something at the top. I'll look into that.
Poles that look like telegraph poles are actually old telegraph poles, or otherwise known as utility, signal or line poles. They have various names, but all, and still do today, the same thing: to carry communicating signals, be it phone, telegraph or trackside circuit signal information.
There's another little nook back here. Stumbling again. That's an old little ruin. Oh, I'm tangled again. It's an old, so it might be something to do with railway. Woodlouse camp. They just used to make stuff with anything, didn't they? A few bricks, we've run out, stick some slate in it, it'll be right. Or it might have been a patch-up job. Anyway, it stood the test of time, hasn't it, to a degree, you know, God knows how old it is. There you go. This is definitely a place that you could do some nature filming, totally. There's lots of stuff going on here nature-wise, and if you're a twitcher, you know, you'd see birds. I reckon, you know, you'd be seeing a lot more than I am, because I don't know much about birds. So, yeah, it's definitely a fantastic place for you photographers. Stumbled across another lovely little spot. This is a beauty. But what a spot, another one. I mean, the weather is obviously really good today, but I think this has got to be the best. Oh yeah, this is the best one. This is the best one. Look at this. Best one so far. Lovely spot to sit. Kids can have a play, a bit of a drop though, so you know, keep an eye on them. I don't know what these stones are. Try and find out.
The blocks are actually World War II anti-tank blocks designed to slow down a potential German invasion. Otherwise known as tank traps, these specific ones were laid to defend the railway line. There are 6 blocks on the estuary side by the picnic tables, and 6 in the railway cuttings on the opposite side.
That's a lovely spot on the map, that one. Oh, what time of day is it, Darren? 10 to 5, so a little bit behind time, but not a problem. We've had a bit of a mooch around, haven't we, and sit down from time to time. And speaking of sitting down, we still haven't come across a bench yet, so we're almost thinking about getting our chairs off our backs that we've been carrying and sitting on them. But we're living hope. We just need a little bit of a break before we cross over the bridge, which we're getting very close to. So, right, I might bring you back when we sit down. See ya. See you, look. So it's pretty well signposted, this place, so yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's hard, you can't go wrong with it really. I mean, it's a straight line, well it's not a straight line, but it's a straight, you know, path that's, it's not straight, but it's a path, do you know what I mean? It's easy to navigate, that's what I'm trying to say. Oh my god, is it an oasis? It's a bench, and there's two of them, like buses. Two come along at once. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That feels good. That feels good.
As well as picnic benches, there are also public toilets. I believe this location to be where the Great Western Railway Reuben-Barmouth line used to be. All that appears to remain is the old station platform.
Darren just pointed out that this might be where the station was. That's part of the platform that you stand on. Covered in grass now, like.
The Mawddach station is still here, previously known as the Barmouth Junction. We follow this track now all the way into Barmouth, leading us to and over the bridge.
Are we having some chips for tea? Chip for tea? Yeah.
You're very exposed to the elements here. It's interesting seeing the green that the sheep inhabit turn into sand, and it's probably the first time I've ever seen a sheep on a beach.
Getting very beachy now.
Barmouth Bridge or Barmouth Viaduct is a Grade 2 listed, single-track wooden railway viaduct across the estuary of the River Mawddach.
It's a never-ending bridge, but it is a long one. It's a long one. I'll find out how long actually and put it on the screen.
It's 900 yards or 820 metres long and carries the Cambrian line. It's one of the largest timber viaducts in Wales and one of the oldest in regular use in Britain. Built in 1864, the bridge has had many repairs over the years to keep it functional. Only recently it had the biggest restoration of the viaduct's history, a £30 million project. The work has been split over 4 years to carefully restore the 160-year-old Grade 2 listed structure back to its former glory. Great care went into restoring the historic bridge, replacing timber and steel like for like to keep the bridge as original as possible. Crossing and seeing the bridge up close, especially the steel structure, it's almost a museum-like experience as you can touch and feel the heavy metal and enjoy the incredible feat of engineering. Having been Barmouth on many occasions, it was a great feeling to finally cross over the iconic bridge. After crossing over the bridge, myself and Darren are heading to more familiar streets as we enter Barmouth, our past holiday destination with our boys. We have many memories here walking around these streets. We didn't get our pint of beer in the end, but we did get fish and chips from our favourite chippy.
So we're making our way to the campsite now. It's, you can get to it via the beach edge, so we're not so far off now. Last leg of the walk to do. Both very full now after our fish and chips, but they were delicious. You've got to have fish and chips and you've been to the beach. Now the next thing this evening is just to get to camp and get the tents up, Although I might sleep in the van again. My brother's not been happy about that, but I might sleep in the van again. I don't know, I can't promise anything.
It was a lovely way to end our journey walking along the seafront. However, we had grown weary. The trail itself is 9 miles long. However, campsite to campsite, with a detour to the Chippy, we've done about 13 miles. This trip was planned as a test run for a longer hike myself and my brother are planning on doing. My kit weighed in at about 14 kilograms, and it's definitely something I'm planning on reducing. Crossing the railway tracks from the coastline, the campsite was a good sight to see. Our pitch in this camp was really convenient for our journey and worked really well.
Oh, we're in. Oh, it's over here. So that was the Mawddach trail. It was a pleasure to do on such a lovely day. I really enjoyed it, and it was great spending time with my brother. I hope I've done it justice in showing to you that it was a worthwhile trail to try out. My brother just put his tent up. I'm not putting mine up. He's mad at me because I'm going to sleep in the van again tonight. Yeah, we're just going to get him set up anyway. I'll make my bed back in my van, and then we'll chill out and have a few beers. So I think I'll sign off now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.